I'm Hannah.
And I'm Finn.
And tonight we're here with Danny Quigley.
How you doing, everybody?
Alright, Danny, so tell us a wee bit about yourself.
So my name's Danny Quigley, and last year I did 10 Ironman in 10 days, and we raised £110,000 for charity, and we donated the money to the Bogside and Brandywell Health Farm and paid a house, and from that then we created the Danny Quigley Grant, which we give away £20,000 to local charities and mental health organisations like this. So this is why I'm here tonight.
So, Danny, what is an Ironman, like an Ironman challenge?
Aye. So an Ironman's a triathlon, and have you ever swam in the Foylerina?
Yeah.
Aye. It's 152 lengths. That's what it is. That's what the swim distance is. Like long ways. So up is 1 and then back is 2. So I had to do that 152 times. And then the bike. Do you know where Mussendom Temple is? Do you know where Downhill Beach is?
Wouldn't say I do.
No.
Do you know where Benone Beach is?
Oh, yeah.
Aye. So the bike went from Foylerina out past Benone Beach down to Downhill where Mussendom Temple is, back again, and then back out again, and then back again, and then the run ends a marathon. So a triathlon's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and then a 26.2 mile run, and that's what one Ironman is. So we did 10 of them over the 10 days.
I'm going to say, you need some cardio help for that there.
I know.
I'd never be able to do that, honestly.
Aye, you could. Sure.
Oh, well, I could. Just saying, right now, my cardio definitely is. What got you interested in mental health?
So in 2011, my daddy died from suicide, and ever since then, I always wanted to do a fundraiser or some sort of charity event to raise money and awareness for suicide. So that was my sort of reasoning for getting involved in mental health. That was the main thing for me.
Danny, did you experience any physical pain throughout this process?
Definitely fun. I had pain in my hip, I had pain in my calf, but I had like proper toothache pain. Have you ever had a toothache?
Aye.
Aye. Not
Yeah.
good correctly. Is
Aye.
it? I had like a toothache pain and deep in my hip, and then imagine like you've got that toothache and then you're like biting on a bar of chocolate, like a chomp right on that tooth. That's the way it sort of felt. That's the best way I can describe it for each step after then. So there was really, it was painful.
So, Danny, have you personally struggled with mental health?
Hannah, I think it's something that we all have struggled with mental health at some stage. But what I try to do is always try and keep myself busy. So I'm very physically active. Like I own a gym and that will be my work. But I try and do as many like spin classes and like just keeping myself really busy by doing physical activity to keep my mental health at a good, nice, steady level and a nice, steady state, so that I'm not struggling as such, but I'm always conscious and always looking after my mental health. It's something that I've incorporated in my life a lot, and I would really highly recommend anybody who's listening to do the same and look after their own mental health through activities that they enjoy doing. So like listening to podcasts, going out for walks, doing anything at all that is positive, makes a positive impact on their own mental health. So I think it's definitely something that I haven't personally struggled, but I would say through looking after it is the reason why I haven't struggled with mental health. But I'm always conscious of it, and I'm always sort of looking at keeping on top of my mental health.
I used to go to the gym, but then school started getting in the way of the gym, so I ended up sadly having to quit it.
Aye.
And same thing with my kickboxing, school and podcast and all. It was just a lot that I had to do in the week. Well, I didn't have to do it, but a lot of stuff I wanted to do in the week.
Yeah.
That I just had to decide I had to sacrifice one thing or another.
Aye.
And I'd rather sacrifice my kickboxing for this any day.
Very good.
And gym, I was
aye.
just a wee bit chaotic. I couldn't choose a perfect schedule and all.
Aye.
But going to the gym, doing weightlifts and all, that was something that just made me feel great.
Brilliant.
And I come home and I feel amazing.
Because whenever you train, there's a chemical release in the brain. Is
Endorphins.
Yeah. And like, would you say the gym would have really helped you release that and feel good?
Yeah, gym just let me do a lot of things. Let me take out physical anger, for example, on the punching bags. That there's the same thing a lot about kickboxing. Just had a stressful day at school. Wham! That was amazing.
That's the way to do it, isn't it? And do you think like COVID and stuff maybe had an impact on that? Did it stop you from doing anything fun?
Not really, but I think I do struggle with my mental health a bit too. I don't feel great about myself, so like I really enjoy going here, and I do meditation at night.
Brilliant.
On Headspace.
Yeah.
Pretty good way to get to sleep.
I think it's really good that you guys are able to even talk about that, because it's a difficult topic to talk. It's a difficult topic to talk about, and I think just by like hearing you talking there, it makes me really feel proud. Like.
It's suggested that about 1 in 2 teenagers, or 1 in 4 or something like that there, have anxiety and so forth, and that is a scary statistic to think of.
Isn't it? And as well as that, like, if you had have came on to my school, like I went to St. Joe's, if you had have came on to my school 10 years ago and you had asked me, was I struggling with my mental health, I would have just give you a straight answer, no. I probably wouldn't even say anything. I probably just says, no, I'm alright. Do you know what I mean? And I think like slowly, as the years go on, it's becoming more common that the youth of today are opening up a wee bit more about it and talking about their mental health and not feeling as if they need to hide it.
It's because it's starting to get a wee bit more normalised now. Like, it's still a topic that a lot of people feel uncomfortable to bring up. Like, certain parts of my mental health I don't even feel comfortable bringing up. And
it's good.
It's good that people can talk about it and all now, but there's just certain aspects that definitely no one would ever feel comfortable bringing up.
Definitely, and that's what we're here for tonight, isn't it?
Exactly.
Get it out there.
So, on the topic of mental health, did your Ironman, did they have a mental and physical toll on you?
Definitely. I think like the mental side of it was, I had like a wee thing that I used to play in my head, that whenever I woke up in the morning, I said, if I can drive the van to the pool, then that will be the day done. So before I went and started the swim in the morning, so I started the swim at about 6 o'clock in the morning, I was up at around 5:20, and then I would drive the van to the pool, and then I wouldn't have to look at the van then the rest of the day. So it was just drive the van to the pool, and I says to myself, if I can drive the van to the pool, that's it done. So that will be a day done. And I just had that mental thing playing in my head the whole time. But so I knew I had the day done as long as I drove the van to the pool, and that was it. Mentally, that was my sort of tricking my mind into thinking that the day was done as soon as I made the first step of the day. Do you know what I mean? And but like having a mental effect during, there was always sort of times where I felt like falling asleep. Like there was times where I could have just fell asleep in a split second. Like if I had a lay down on the floor, I would have fell asleep on the bike, on the run, no matter what. I was just with that mentally exhausted. Do you ever sort of be like up late at night and you'd be watching a film and you just feel like your eyes are going to go to sleep? You just want to fall asleep. I don't know, I had to turn off everything and then I fall asleep. I felt like that a lot of the time, where I felt like my eyes were just going together, like on the bike, whilst I was on the bike, whilst I was running, not so much on the water, I don't know why, but definitely on the bike. That's the kind of feeling that just lasted the whole day. So you were feeling like, if I close my eyes, I'll fall asleep. That was something that I had to sort of try and get over mentally. But physical toll was just painful. Like, it was just so sore
All
all the time.
After a gym. Barely lift up a glass, honestly, kind
Classic.
Oh.
When's the last time you were at the gym?
Last time I was at the gym about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
School and all too.
I know. I stopped during the summer because we were doing summer things, and then school started back, and I was really struggling. So I just turned around to myself and said, "Look, Hannah, you have so much on during the week. So you have your only real free day is Wednesday, and even at that, you've got other things to do on Wednesdays. So you're gonna have to start dropping some things."
Yeah.
And so I started dropping some things. They started focusing a wee bit more on school.
To the gym was one of the ones that had to go. What would you find you go to the gym?
I want to try, but I'm not sure if it's open to second years in my school yet.
Right. What school do you go to?
The college.
Have they got a gym in school?
Yeah, they do.
You should ask
See,
one of the teachers.
See what you should do. See if you're really looking to go to a gym. The complex leisure centre.
Yeah.
They'd run a youth program in there for like an hour every week. You can go in there and you can just kind of have a PT, and they can kind of talk you through what you need to do and all, tell them your goals and all, and they'll suggest stuff.
No, I have a wee gym, and I've had the gym now the last 5 years out in Newton Connor, but I've always been into fitness and stuff my whole life. Especially with my daddy doing the triathlons and stuff. So my daddy did triathlons before I started doing them, and that's where the whole sort of Ironman came about.
How has the Danny Quigley Fund affected you and others, like youth groups like Studio 2 and just people who need help with their mental health?
Yeah, so the podcast that you guys are doing is really sort of, I think, touching on that. At the minute it's touching on mental health, and it's really, even from talking to you two guys tonight, I can see that you are very open and speaking about your mental health. I think the other charities that we have given funding to, we're going to be following up and doing the same kind of thing, like we videos and stuff, and finding out where the money is actually gone and what it's going to improve and spread awareness. So I think like just having these conversations as many times as we can is really, really helping. And the DQ fund is only the start, because over time we're just starting to see increases in young males coming forward and asking for one-to-one counselling. So we've got about 100 people per year and the Bogside and Brandywell Health Farm coming in for one-to-one counselling, and that's all funded through the DQ fund. So it's really sort of, as time goes on, we'll find out more and more how the money is actually helped, and how going forward we can determine where is the best places for this money to go. So these kind of podcasts and having people talking and other people listening in, I think is a really important aspect of it. So it's just a start for the DQ fund, I think.
What's one piece of advice you give to a person, not just like a young person, just anyone who asked you, what advice would you give them about seeking help for mental health and just mental health in general?
Yeah. So I think I would break it into sort of two aspects: whether they feel suicidal or whether they're asking for mental health. What can they do to improve it? The mental health side of it, just looking after yourself, I would give them a really strong piece of advice to be selfish. And what I mean by be selfish is, whenever people hear that word, they kind of think it's a bad, negative word. What are you doing being selfish all the time? That's the sort of thought that people think. But what I mean by being selfish is really looking after yourself. So make time for yourself to do the things that you love doing. That would be my one piece of advice for anybody who's looking for mental health sort of improvements and ways in how to improve their mental health. Anybody who's feeling suicidal, my advice would be go see your doctor and not be afraid to do so, and not be afraid to tell people that you're feeling that way. You know, the more we accept these conversations, the more people will come forward and come out and talk about it. So that would be my advice. So look after yourself, be selfish. Don't be afraid of being selfish if it's got a positive outcome for everybody.
Yeah, that's some very good advice that honestly I should even take into account there. Because one of my things is I struggle with doing that there sort of stuff, like asking for help and all, thinking that I'm a bother to people.
See, if you're asking somebody for help, then you should never feel that people are judging you in a way that you're a burden on anybody. It's just about asking the right people, I think. I think it's about asking the right people for help and not being afraid to ask for the help as well, and not being afraid that you're going to be judged. And that's why talking about it is so good. Do you know what I mean?
I will have to take that information. Just be selfish.
Yeah, as long as as long as your selfishness is gonna create a positive outcome. Like, I think like the best way of me putting it in the sort of picture form is, imagine you have a basket of food and you've given all your food out and you've no food left to eat yourself. Then over time you're gonna starve, you're not gonna be able to function, and you're not gonna be able to do things the right way. So if you go out and collect food, have your own bit and then give out whatever's left, then over time you can help people a lot more as you go through your life. But if you just keep giving everything out and having nothing for yourself, looking after yourself, feeding yourself, giving yourself good mental health, then there's nothing left to give to anybody else. So I think it's really important to be selfish to the point where you're not being selfish all the time. Just to be on that nice level mental health continuum is what it's known as.
So thank you, Danny, for coming in and doing this interview with us. Thank for your time and advice. It will surely help a lot of people.
Brilliant. Fun. Thank you, and thank you, Hannah, for your time. It's been a pleasure, and any time at all going forward, I'm here.
Thank you so much for
Well, thank you, Danny, for being here and doing this interview with us. We will surely put this in the podcast, maybe give it an 8-minute spot like we gave Mammy Belter.